This video was made entirely possible by EA Game Changers. I was recently invited to become an EA Game Changer and play Season 7 early in the early gameplay capture event, so thank you so much to EA for this amazing opportunity. Yes people, you heard it here first, Season 7 early gameplay. It's all coming out today baby. We're here with gameplay of Horizion, the new map Olympus, some new Trident gameplay, all things you want to see for Season 7. You're going to see it right here, so stick around and we'll give a good talk about everything that's going to come in Season 7. So, as you heard in the intro, I was recently invited to become an EA Game Changer and play Season 7 early, capture some gameplay for you guys, and show it to you a few days before the season comes out, and what I played was absolutely amazing. Now unfortunately a lot of my gameplay actually corrupted. Typically I was like the only one playing whose gameplay got corrupted, but anyway, luckily because I was playing with the amazing gaming merchant, his link will be in the description of course, he was able to send over some gameplay he caught of me whilst he was spectating me, and I've also managed to salvage different bits from different games, so we've got a lot of gameplay for you here today guys, don't worry about that. You know I can't leave you without that Season 7 gameplay. You know I've got to come through with that. Now if you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends Season 7 content guys. If you're hyped for Season 7 just as I am, make sure to sub to the channel because I have so much Season 7 content lined up for you guys in the next couple of weeks. You are not going to want to miss it. But with all of that being said guys, welcome to Olympus, the new map for Apex Legends Season 7. And aren't those colours just beautiful? Isn't this map just beautiful? I mean it's so different to anything we've had in Apex Legends before. It kind of reminds me of Season 3 World's Edge colours, but even nicer. The greens, the pinks, the blues, they all bounce off each other so nicely. And apart from the colours, the one thing you've probably noticed about this map is the size, and that's the thing a lot of people are talking about, so that's the first thing we're going to talk about here. How big is this map? Well, we had a little talk with the devs, and they confirmed to us that this map is bigger than Kings Canyon, but actually it is smaller than World's Edge, just slightly smaller than World's Edge, and this actually surprised me quite a lot, because when I played this map, it felt absolutely huge, and that might just be because I didn't know where anything was, and I didn't really know where I was just kind of wandering around and like pretending I knew what I was doing, a little bit like in real life. That's kind of just my life actually. But anyway, yes, this map does feel very big, and fortunately for you guys, there is a new game mode coming out alongside Olympus called Olympus Preview, and in this mode, all shooting is disabled. Like, everyone's a friendly, you can just run around, learn the map, learn the rotations, learn what the POIs are like, just take it all in without having to worry about being shot from 50 miles away by a Kraber. No, you can take it all in, learn the map at absolutely no risk. It's an amazing game mode, and I think it's a very good thing for new players as well as experienced players to come to learn the new map very quickly. Now the other new feature that everyone is talking about is of course the Trident, because we've never had a vehicle in Apex Legends before, and here we are in Season 7 with our first official vehicle, the Trident, the 3-man glider being added into Apex Legends, and a lot of people are worried about how this is going to impact the game, and I can safely say to you guys that the Trident is an amazing addition to Olympus. You're going to be having an amazing experience playing Olympus if you utilize the Trident for everything that it can offer you. You can get through really tough choke points and really tough rotations using the Trident because it's going to allow you an easier and faster rotation through these hot areas, but not risk-free. You're still going to take damage if you're riding along in a Trident. Don't think it's a free pass, and it's definitely a difficult one to maneuver as it's quite sharp for turning and it can be very difficult to control in certain situations. Now I know a lot of people are worried about how this is going to impact boots on the ground combat, and let me reassure you that it basically doesn't affect it at all. That same movement is going to be needed on ground when you're actually in those gunfights, and that doesn't take away from that at all. The Trident is really quite harmless because enemies can't just jump on and off it as they please. There is an animation to get on it, and of course when you get off it you're still going to be in a tough position regardless of where you park it, and that same movement is going to be necessary for you to succeed in your ground combat fights, so don't worry about that at all. The only real threat anyone can pose to you whilst on a Trident is if they have a rampart turret on the back, and not every team is going to be running a rampart, so don't worry too much about that. The Trident is perfectly balanced in my opinion. Another new addition to Season 7 is of course the new Legend Horizion, and let me tell you, I'm very impressed with what they've done with Horizion as a legend. I think other Legends on release have been somewhat lackluster sometimes. We've seen Legends come out like Revenant and Loba, where on release they've not quite been as strong as people would maybe like them to be.
Ooh. That was very cool.
But I see Horizion being a legend that people use deep into Season 7, because in my opinion Horizion is designed to perfectly suit Olympus and the way that it plays. In Olympus there is a ton of open space and vertical height, and not a lot of cover in some areas on the map, and Horizion suits this map perfectly because her passive ability is allowing you to drop off of height without taking that staggering impact when you land on the floor, so you can jump on people's heads and be ready to fight instantly. And also you can strafe in the air whilst landing, and honestly that is something that no other legend can do, at least as fast as she can. She can maneuver in the air, so if she's dropping on someone and all of a sudden she sees she's going to land in front of their face, you can quickly maneuver and land behind them whilst falling, and this is actually a really underrated ability and something that I can see being used very much with Horizion. Her tactical ability is of course the gravity lifts that we've seen on King's Canyon and World's Edge, and actually they recharge very fast. The gravity lift tactical ability has a 15-second cooldown. However, once you've used it and you've gone up on top of the high ground or over the wall or wherever you want to go, there's only 5 seconds remaining until you get your next gravity lift, so it feels like you get these things all the time. It's really fun for movement and getting on top of high ground and just outplaying opponents. You'll see some gameplay here of me using them effectively, and it was a ton of fun to use. And it's actually a lot faster than the gravity lifts that we've seen on World's Edge and King's Canyon. The speed is increased somewhat, especially I think if you're Horizion, as you can corkscrew around whilst you're going up the gravity lift. You're not going to be going up in a dead straight line, so it's going to be harder for enemies to hit you. And it's just a ton of fun. I think you guys are going to love this tactical ability. Now of course that leaves us with Horizion's ultimate ability being her black hole device, and a ton of people have been worried about this being overpowered. There's been a lot of talk about how this could be balanced, and genuinely I think that this ability is about as balanced as they could have made it. So basically what this ability does is you can throw out the black hole device and it's going to suck in enemies within its radius. There is a ring kind of radius, somewhat similar to Loba's ultimate radius, except it's not going to show on your minimap, it's just going to show around on the floor in front of you. But anyway, the black hole device has a radius and it's going to pull in any enemies in that radius inside the black hole. There's a lot of misconception going around that it's going to deal damage to you. It does not deal damage to you. All it does is suck you into the middle. And you can even destroy the black hole device if you just shoot into it. You can actually see the tiny drone newt inside, and you can destroy it and it will just destroy the black hole. If you're a Pathfinder, you can grapple out with somewhat ease. It's not going to be completely easy for you to grapple out of it, but of course you can. I'm not sure if Wraith can phase out or anything like that, but I'm sure she can. And you can just pull yourself out of it anyway. If you're any character, you can still pull yourself out of the black hole device, but it is of course going to be actively trying to suck you back in, so it's not going to be easy. You're kind of going to have that slow stunned effect if you're inside it. It's quite easy to avoid if you're not inside the black hole radius, and genuinely I think it's about as balanced as it could be. You could get stuck in the black hole and escape with no harm being done to you, or you could get stuck in the middle and get beamed for 200. It's just about how your opponent uses it and whether or not they use it effectively. Now there are a few other small changes I want to cover quickly before we finish off, and that is of course, as you all know by now, the R99 has returned to ground loot with the Prowler replacing it in the care package, and hallelujah, finally the Prowler is in the care package where it belongs. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you think, the Prowler has always been so unbelievably, ridiculously powerful, and only now are people starting to realise that, and I think the Prowler has finally taken its deserved place in the care package. I never thought the R99 was overly powerful that it belonged in the care package, and now that it's back on the ground, we can finally see some diversity in close range weapon fights. No longer is the Volt going to be the superior SMG for those mid-range beams now. You have the option of the R99 or the Volt. I think they're very similar in lots of ways, and I think that's really nice that you have the choice of two very similar but also different weapons at the same time. I really like that. There's also the addition of a new hop-up into the game which goes on the Wingman and the RE45. I believe it's called the Quick Draw hop-up, but that may be inaccurate, but I can tell you that what it does is it makes you aim down sight quicker, it makes your hip fire more accurate, and I think it also makes you swap to that weapon a little bit faster as well. It's not a hop-up you would outly go looking for if you have a Wingman. You wouldn't go rushing off saying, I need this hop-up. But if you find it, you will always pick it up every time. It's not something like the double tap where you might pick it up and think, oh, maybe I don't want to use double tap. This is something that you would use every time if you find it, but you're probably not going to be too worried if you haven't got it. Now, of course, there is a ton more stuff coming to Apex Legends Season 7. We've got balance changes to weapons and legends, new skins, new battle pass, everything new is coming to Apex Legends Season 7. However, unfortunately, I just don't have enough time to cover all of that for you guys, so I'm going to leave it there for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed this insight into some Apex Legends Season 7 gameplay. Thank you so much to the Gaming Merchant for sending me over that gameplay footage of him spectating me, because without that it would have been a really big struggle to try and get this video out today, because all my video footage got corrupted, and that's just a big sad, really. I'm really sad about that. But anyway, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content. I'll see you guys in Season 7 on Olympus. Until next time, guys, it's been your boy Ashton. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, and goodbye.